live at AlanCoxShow.com. Who's helping out today? Shout out to Briscoe Winksworth, assisting in the video department today. $1,000 here a few minutes away, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie, about 30 past every hour. This afternoon, you're going to hear one of those keywords, and we're at the very beginning of another round of handing these off, so you still have plenty of time to grab some of that money. Speaking of which, Alan, can I offer Bill $100 to make as many sex jokes and innuendo today as he possibly can? You could double your money there today. Did Mary pay up?
Boner boy.
Did Mary pay up?
Yeah, she did.
Hey! She Venmo'd you?
Yeah.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you throw in a little tip for time served?
No.
Absolutely not.
But I know she loves the tip.
Come on.
Well, I'm trying to get this
gonna be like
$100 from this other guy. These side bets are nice.
See, you didn't realize the flip side of that coin, Mary, is that you removed an entire day's worth from him. So you played yourself, playa, because it's not zero sum, you know. I mean, he's going to come back in, and there's a, I assume there's some kind of quota. I don't know. You'll have to talk to him about that.
I'm just going to do what I do best.
Annoy Mary. She's walking on sunshine today after that Huey Lewis show. You can't bring her down. Your Cleveland Guardians get a big one over on the Red Sox. They're going for the sweep.
I was watching that game last night. That was fantastic. I think they went to the 11th. And then in the 11th, they scored a run in the 10th, and then Boston also scored a run in the 10th, and then in the 11th, the Guardians scored, I think, 3, and then blanked the Red Sox in the 11th, the bottom of the 11th. Very fun game. Very fun game.
10-7 was the final at Fenway. They got 2 more to play there. So tonight, 7:10, and then tomorrow afternoon, 1:35 is going to be the last one before they come back home and play the Oakland, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Sacramento Athletics. God knows. I bet that game, there's going to be more Athletics fans probably in Cleveland going over there to watch them than there actually are out there in the Bay. But Guardians, Red Sox, tonight, 7:10. So when we're out of here around 6:30, get your pregame going. Your Cleveland Monsters are out there killing it, too. You know, we had Tom Green here last week, and of course Canadian, and we're talking very briefly about the fact that the Laval Rocket, who had come all the way down from Montreal to play the Monsters, were in town those days. Monsters are not playing tonight. They'll play Friday night in Rochester against the Americans. But a story that was kind of a, it was a feel-good local story has really blown up and making it into international papers and things like that about this dude who reached out and kept a puck at a Monsters game from hitting a kid in the face.
I saw that. That was great job by that guy. No, like the puck was flying towards the kid's face, and the guy like reached out and like blocked the puck from hitting the kid. Oh man, it was just dad reflexes.
Yeah, and again, it's a nice thing to try to do, but he also got lucky. Mm-hmm. That puck's tiny. I mean, he might not have. Andrew Podolak is the guy, and the mom was just effusive with praise for this guy, Asia Davis, saying that this guy potentially saved her son's life. There was a kid not long ago who got hit in the head with a stray hockey puck and died at the hospital. And she couldn't be happier, obviously.
I just saw it was like wobbling and whatnot, so I was like, oh God, the first thing I got to do, first instinct is protect the kid, jump in front of it. I just kind of went off to the side, and it actually hit me like on the inside of the hand right here.
And after he caught the puck, he told me that the empty seat next to him was his seat too. If I was him, I would have been switched seats.
I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Asia Davis and her 4-year-old son, Nasir, went to the Monsters game on Thursday. Third period, just a couple, game's almost over. A couple of minutes left. Puck flies into the crowd over there at the Romo Fijo. And this dude puts it, the mom was filming. I don't know if it was her son's first game or whatever, but the puck is headed straight for the kid's head, and this dude swings his arm out, and then the whole thing blows up. And so they're talking about this guy saving this kid's life. I wonder if he'll be on their Christmas card list now. You think so? How much goodwill do you get for something like that? because it was a very nice thing to try to do. It was just a reflexive thing to get out there and try to make sure this kid didn't get hit. But it also was a miracle that it worked, or that it ended. There's plenty of other times it doesn't work that way. How long do you kind of eat out dinner on this?
I don't think the guy
still talk to the.
I think the guy's going to do whatever interviews show up this week, but I don't think he's living off this. I don't think he's going to be like, I am the puck savior, like try and sell merch or anything. I think he's just like, no, he did what most people would do in that situation. You try and protect a kid from getting hit in the head with a hockey puck.
Yeah, and here's the wildest part of the story. This guy, Don Rickles' grandson.
Hey.
For real?
Anyone? No. Remember his big insult was he called everyone a hockey puck. That was the height of insult comedy in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, ya hockey puck.
Put a little reference to that in Toy Story.
Right, he was Mr. Potato Head.
He did it in Dirty Work, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably more people watching Dirty Work who would get that reference than people watching Toy Story. Of course, Toy Story came out a long time ago, didn't it?
Toy Story came out a long time ago, and a lot of kids watch it with their parents that totally got that reference.
You think the parents got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you this money here. It is $1,000. We're on it again, courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. About 13 times a day, you get a crack at this money. So I hope you win. You can blow it immediately. You can save it, whatever you want to do. $1,000. Listen closely and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now at...
So that you could, these monkeys are cute. And so let's say you're in one of these preserves and you're like, oh, you want to pet the monkey? And some people say yes. You'll never see me petting a monkey. I don't want anything to do with a monkey. I saw outbreak.
Question. I understand monkeys are different than snakes. You can put me on record as that. When you guys were in Sedona, did you see the reptile man in downtown Sedona?
We did.
Or did you hold the reptiles?
Did
you
not.
Lizards and snakes.
Nope.
And
I know you guys did because we talked about that.
Okay, I didn't know if you are I don't want to hold any animals or if it was just monkeys or...
I mean, I had a tarantula on my face in Mexico. So if you get me at the right time... But no, we were walking by and there was a whole crowd of people. There's a guy, the guy's Mary's talking about. There's this huge kind of main drag through downtown Sedona there where it's shopping and it's ground zero for the tourists. And there's a guy in the corner of this one plaza there, and he has all of these plastic, like we've all seen, like here comes Jim the Monkey Man or whatever. They have him out here, Lizard Larry or whatever, and they bring these plastic lucite cases, and they have reptiles in them, and there's a whole crowd gathered around. And thank God that my daughter is a kid who takes no for an answer, because I was like, we're not grabbing any lizards. We're not petting any, we weren't going to do it. If there had been a smaller crowd, I bet that would have been a harder thing to walk past. I had no interest in doing it, but that's one of those things you do because your kid wants to do it.
Right.
And she wasn't that interested. So we kind of walked by and
cute, fluffy animals.
Yeah, kind of walked by and looked. But other than that, you guys did pet him though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's daughter is she wants to do things like that, but sometimes she'll get a little shy when it actually comes time to do it. So it'll take her sometimes 10 minutes to build up the courage to do something like that. So we'll have to stand there. She'll have to see a couple other people hold the snake first, or see me or Brian hold the snake, and then she'll pet it, and then she'll finally want to hold the snake and take a picture with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She needs a lead in though to get into it.
Yes. She's not I know as a kid, I was the one who was like, give it to me. I'll do anything. I'll jump off stuff. I don't care. I'm as a daredevil, where she's a little more cautious.
Reserved,
she needs a little more, lead up time.
No, we didn't do that. Because it's also partly where, I'm perfectly fine looking at something. Perfectly fine looking at something. I don't necessarily need to touch it. We did go to this thing. We were at Discovery Cove in Orlando. We did this thing where you can go snorkeling with all of this marine life. And it really, really was cool. Where there's rays and things all around you, right? And you can put your hand down and you can feel them as they go by. And that's great. But there's these poor people who are working for the park who are standing in waist-high water repeatedly having to tell people, kids and adults alike, hey, don't chase them. Please don't chase them. Hey, please don't grab them. So
Isn't it crazy how dumb people are?
Well,
and how, like,
it's not even dumb. I look at it as I understand people are fascinated by nature because we've taken such great pains to remove ourselves from nature, right? So when you're in there, it really is fascinating. And so you're snorkeling and there's things all around you and you can reach down and feel them. I'm fine with that. But these people working there had to constantly be telling groups of people, hey, please don't follow them. Hey, please don't touch. You can touch them, but like kind of
but
let them glide under your fingertips.
You don't grab them. You don't try and stop them. You don't, and like you said, don't follow them. And they're very clear about those instructions when you go in. And people just go, well, I'm allowed to. Nobody else can do this, but I get to do it.
Why wouldn't I be able to do it?
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but I mean, it was just, I'm perfectly fine looking at things. They had marmosets, and those are amazing little monkeys to watch. And
nice marmot.
Not really, that rug brings the room together. They look like little Albert Einstein monkeys or whatever, but yeah, but you're in the desert, and there's lizards and things. I'm perfectly fine looking at them. And I was stone cold sober. I mean, we were on vacation, but of course we had our kid there. And, if I had a couple of pops in me, maybe I'd be like, let me touch that lizard. What's that, javelina? I'll grab one.
Who'd about a snake about it? I hold it. That's my favorite color.
Let's snake. What'd you say? Let's snake about it?
I'll have a snake about it. I'll do it. I'll hold that snake.
Yep. Can I whip around like a lasso or anything? Or
Doug Britney Spears? I'm toxic, you're supernunner.
Yeah. So, yeah, but down there in Florida, we didn't, a lot of lizards down there, obviously, but they're called the not anal. They're like anal lizards or something, but it looks like anal. But
anal lizard's a very different thing.
Well, and you know what? You get the herpes from those monkeys, you're going to end up with the anal lizard. So, no, I have no interest in petting monkeys or anything like that, but they're warning people down there in Florida, be on the lookout for the herpes monkey. I don't know if we still have Marshall listening to the show. For many years, we had a guy named Marshall who would call us. He was the bureau chief in Butte, Montana, and he was a Satanist. Remember Marshall? Then I think he got a new woman and found Jesus. I don't know.
He went to prison and found Jesus.
Well, either way, right? It's the last refuge of the scoundrel is religion. And so however he did it, he had kind of renounced his. But I was thinking of him because that video went around of an escaped circus elephant in Butte, Montana. It was just running loose on the streets, and people were filming it. And I assume that they've caught it by now. But if you were to see, here, I'll show you a little bit of it.
Elephant walking down the road. Oh, my God.
Yeah, listen to that laugh. Smoke much?
Smoker.
Oh, my God. Only in Butte.
The circus elephant got loose.
Right next to Mama Leone's Casino or whatever that was called. There's just a elephant. I love when people go, only here.
Yeah.
Only fill in the blank. Yeah. Well, they're chasing a circus elephant around, and boy, that lady's having a good time, though.
Be careful on the April Fool's jokes.
In my opinion, one of the underrated Bill Murray movies, Larger Than Life, is very much like that.
Is that the one with Janine Garofalo in it?
Janine Garofalo and
before she got into football.
Matthew McConaughey. Shut up. And yeah, it's a goofy movie, and it's basically they just go, all right, in this scene the elephant does this. Bill Murray, you just react.
Right.
Not much of a script, but I still had some good laughs from that movie.
You know, we've talked about how at certain points in cinematic history, there are competing movies. You had competing volcano movies, and there's competing earthquake movies. And you mentioned Larger Than Life. I was an Operation Dumbo Drop guy myself.
Yeah.
Those were the competing pachyderm movies.
I forgot those came out pretty close
Remember
to each
that?
other. Yeah.
Operation Dumbo Drop was Dennis Leary and Ray Liotta.
Danny
Glover. And the dude that played Parker Lewis, remember Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
Yeah.
That guy was in there.
I love that show.
And that was like a military thing, but
Yeah.
Larger Than Life was more of like a slapstick thing with Bill Murray.
But even Operation Dumbo Drop was sold as like a kid's movie.
Yes. Competing pachyderm flicks in the mid-'90s. I got a break again. If you want to send me a text for anything, 35192. I will hear them there. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, you can drop messages, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. And now, a Buzzard Bookie safe bet. If you gotta be in court, always check